Hey, welcome everybody back to another Brookside story. I'm Quentin Schultz, a member here at Brookside Christian Reformed Church in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and with me is a special person from our church. This is Oliver Hale, who is also known as Chef O or Chef Oliver, and we'll get back to why that chef is there too as part of his name. But first thing I want to do is talk about you, Oliver, in terms of my meeting you and getting to know you a little bit. Because sometimes when I'm coming into church, you are there ushering.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, I am.
And you're always filled with joy. Now, before you say anything, let me set you up here. There you go. So I'm walking down, and you know, Sunday morning, some people are harried. They got things going on. They're trying to get to church and all. And you're there, and you seem to be filled with joy. And I'm thinking of the fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience. Now, I'm not going to say you're patient because that's one for your wife Barbara to determine. But the joy is there. The gratitude in your heart comes through you as a person.
Yes.
Oliver, where does that gratitude come from?
It all came from my mom and dad as growing up in family values. Family values, respect. Then also, I am a two-time kidney transplant recipient. And being a transplant recipient, my life has been spared twice. So whoa. I am very happy. I am now 39 years out of my first transplant. So I have to be filled with joy. I have to be filled with patience. I have to fill with spiritual beliefs, and because I am blessed by the man up above to be here talking to you.
Wow, that is fantastic.
Yes.
You've had 3 lives, huh?
3 lives, yes. And I sometimes sit by myself and get teary-eyed because I know of people who don't get a chance to get one. And I have received 2 kidney transplants, and I've been really, really blessed over the years because that even opened doors for my progress in life.
Oliver, what a great story.
Well,
what a reason to be thankful. Now, let me change gears a little bit here and ask you where you grew up.
I grew up, I'm going to put this in here and don't shut it down, but I grew up in a very segregated city in Texas called Greenville, Texas. And I grew up with the notion of everything I was told to me, no, you can't do this, no, you can't do that. My first job was in a restaurant as a dishwasher, and my first command was never go past the kitchen door into the dining room. I was never allowed to go in the dining room. So with that in mind, my mom always taught her to love thy neighbor, treat everybody with dignity and respect, and also treat everyone the way you want to be treated. Now, one of the things she told me when I got ready to leave home, Quint, was who you are is God gifts to you. What you do from this point on is your gift back to God. Wow. So my values and everything I've done in my life from those words have proven very highly because what just happened to me in the last week.
Isn't that fantastic? And what years are we talking about with you being down there working at the
That was
place?
in the 1960s, late 50s and 60s. I graduated in 71. And when I graduated, I moved away, and that's when my life took another turn because it was a new chapter because I was able to do things. In high school, people say, wow, you're a great tennis player. How much did you play in high school? I wasn't allowed to play tennis in high school. Gee, Chef, you're a great fencer. You fenced in high school? No, I wasn't allowed to do fencing. These are the things that I wanted to change, and my mom said in order to do that, you had to go somewhere else to change.
So where did you go?
I moved from Greenville, Texas to Toledo, Ohio, where my mom had a brother and sister who invited me to come stay with one or the two and to get a job here, and life took off after that. My cooking career just blossomed.
All right, let's get into that a little bit. So you move up to Toledo, and how in the world do you get into cooking?
Like I say, my first job was in the restaurant. So through high school, I worked in a restaurant, And when I came to Toledo, I became a manager. And then also my cooking skills kind of blossomed, and I always wanted to do something different. My cooking skills is thinking out of the box. I don't try to duplicate things. I try to think of something, but make it so different where you're going to say, wow. That's what I call the wow factor.
It sounds to me like you have some God-given artistic abilities which you put into food, not just the visual,
Not just
but the whole aspect of it.
The whole aspect of it, and that have grown, and it have proven, because I've been voted best chef twice in Grand Rapids. I was the chef of the restaurant. They got Restaurant of the Year. I have been on the United States Culinary Art team, the team that went to Amsterdam. I was an alternate to it. So me coming here, opened the doors for me.
And how did you get to Grand Rapids? What's the story there?
After I got out of college, I started writing resumes and sent them out. And believe it or not, there were 3 places interested me: Martha's Vineyard, Nantucket, and Belding, Michigan, a golf resort.
Belding.
In Belding, Michigan.
Yeah.
And I took the job in Belding, Michigan, and that's why I ended up in the Grand Rapids area.
Oh, great story.
It was a great leap of faith, I call it.
Yeah. And was your mother still alive when you started
Yes.
working here?
Yes. When I started working here, my mom, when she passed, my brother and sister showed me a box. My mom had every newspaper clipping, every magazine article that I have ever been in a box. Because I was in the magazine a lot, I was in newspaper a lot, and so she kept it all because she was very proud at the way I progressed, and I stayed on track of being a chef and become a top chef. She knew I wanted to be good.
Yeah, what a great story.
Yes.
I'm so glad to be able to talk with you about this. And so, go ahead.
It's all a blessing, though.
Yeah.
I mean, God has a reason for this. It's not luck. It's not things people say. It's all a blessing. The first transplant rejected, got a second transplant, and then I said, God is have something planned for me bigger. And every year, as my friends always say, you just prosper. You just keep climbing that ladder, don't you?
Oh, you are a walking, talking, cooking example of the grace of God.
Yes.
In so many ways.
And that's why I try to give back. And I'm going to say this real quick. In 1985, when I received my first transplant, I wrote a letter to the family to thank them and my gratitude for getting a kidney. And they didn't respond. And my goal was to pay it forward by continuing doing my things I did and also help others. So that's why I believe in helping those who cannot help themselves. And that's why last week I received the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award for volunteer service for my 40-plus years of giving back to not only the community, but the state, but nationally when I do things.
And we're talking about the president.
The president.
Of the United States.
Of the United States, yes.
Spectacular.
Thank you.
Spectacular. Wow.
So
and that was completely out of the blue, wasn't
out
it?
of the blue. Out of the
Wow.
blue. And I just got asked by a reporter. He said, what are you going to do now? I said, I'm just going to still say the same, the God-filling, blessing guy that I am, and just keep going forward because there's some doors need to be still open.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what they are. You don't know what they are. What's this in Jeremiah? What is it? God knows the plan for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Isn't that great? And we don't. So let's take this back a little bit to Brookside Christian Reformed Church here in the southeast side of Grand Rapids. This is Brookside's story.
Yeah.
So you get involved in the church and you start cooking, Chef O, Presidential Award winner, but you start cooking at the church. What in the world are you doing at the church?
Well, we before COVID, we had something we call Serve. Well, we have these kids come in, about 110, 120 kids from parts of the United States and Canada, and their sponsors where they come to Grand Rapids area and they do work. We call it Serve. I was one in charge of all their meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And so it was a thrill in my heart to wake up in the morning, to come to church and plan and have breakfast for 120 20, 25 people, and then also have lunch laid out so they can make their lunches to go. Then they go work all day and they come back and get a wholesome, healthy meal in the afternoon. And they just loved it. And hear the thank yous and the thank you, oh, that was great, and it's heartwarming.
Yeah, so great. So giving your gifts in service to the church here too at Brookside has been a blessing for us.
I mean, I'm usher. I'm on the usher. I can't sing, so don't ask me to do that. So I do what I can do in the church. I all my 60-something years in the church, I have had different roles in church, and ushering is a easy but fun way. Like I say, I can greet people, meet them. Because when I was a manager of a golf resort, I told my front desk person, always smile, because when that person walked to the front desk and check in, you know, it's their first time in Michigan, first time in the United States, but you're going to make their day, because whatever you do, it's going to make their day. So you walk in and see me smile and say, how you doing, Quinn? Welcome to Brookside. Can I help you? Would you like to sit here? It done made you feel good already, because you're welcome.
And it's a natural smile when, to get back to the beginning, your heart is filled with gratitude the way yours is.
Gratitude.
Yeah.
I tell people, you have to walk in my shoes to see what my life has been like and what it is and why I'm so grateful and happy and pleasant and just patient.
All right, so let's wrap it up this way. This is going to be a question out of the blue for you.
Oh, boy.
Chef O, if you could make any breakfast you wanted for yourself, Barbara, your wife, and 2 other guests that you have over, what would you like to make for breakfast? Now, everybody out there is going to be salivating.
Oh.
So-
I would do something very simple. Like I would like to make a blackberry or peach crepes. But I'm making crepes with some nice blackberry sauce inside of the crepes and done up, and make a nice amaretto whipping cream that I put on the top. And then make a little glaze that you can drizzle over the top of the crepes and serve that. I would like doing something like that, light, fluffy crepes. I mean, I tell you what, I let the person pick it, but it's gonna be peach or blackberry.
Oh, man. I'm ready to eat. Listen,
You ready? Let's go in the kitchen.
We're going to cancel this right now and go out together. You just hit on one of my favorites, brother. This is fantastic. This is Chef O.
Thank you.
Oliver Hale at Brookside Christian Reformed Church. You come here on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. We also have a 6 p.m. service, but
Yes.
at 10 a.m. sometimes, you will get Oliver showing you with great gratitude to your seat. So you want to come here and join us,
Thank you.
where we're all filled with gratitude for what the Lord does for us every
Well
day.
blessed. Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Thanks, everybody. Blessings.
Thank you. God bless you.